And just turning now to the wider sort of region. Obviously, there's sort of a degree of tensions between sort of Russia and Ukraine at the moment. And I was wondering if you could tell us what opportunities this could bring to Uzbekistan. Rashanbek, perhaps you could answer this.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, as it was said, Uzbekistan passing now through historical period of changes. You know, even 5-6 years ago, as Scott mentioned, it was very difficult to imagine that the country will achieve such level of the openness to the country and openness to the rest of the world, to the investors, and to companies and to other countries. So from this point of view, now we are we are still a long way to follow, because there is still, we have challenges, we have some bureaucracy is there, but of course at the same time there are a lot of opportunities. For example, today we have a number of the specialists, IT specialists, fintech specialists coming from other countries, and they are considering Uzbekistan as their permanent hub to expand their activity and to settle there and to start their business. And of course, Uzbekistan is very happy and ready to create necessary conditions for this kind of specialist. And of course, all investors from all over the world, they are welcome in Uzbekistan. There are special programs already with IT Park Uzbekistan, for example, and they are welcoming the relocants from other countries to wishing to settle their business in Uzbekistan.
I would like to add the addition to Mr. Rashanbek's speech regarding digitalization and the plans for future. This is right. There is like a visa for IT guys, which is very easy to get, and you know, the situation with this political issue give us an opportunity to receive a lot of high educated IT professionals. And in our plans for the future, and this is realizing now, we have several IT parks, and one of the big IT parks under construction in Tashkent. And we expect that in a few years, the more than 500,000 people, it's also not only foreigners will arrive, but it's educated, the local students from universities will be educated, and the people who is involved in IT sector will be increased rapidly and multiple times. And we expect that more than 500,000 people will be involved in this area in a few years. And this is a good opportunity for us to open our market, make sure that the educated people, the businessmen, the traders, everybody will have a possibility to expand their network in Central Asia through Uzbekistan. Because even this reform with the possibility to, without any issues, purchase assets like buildings premises, also includes other permissions which the non-residents may able to have here, like to open the business. And according to our plans, we're planning to digitalize almost all areas of government operations, like business processes, making sure that any company owner or any investor may able to operate with the company which he may open in Uzbekistan through his a telephone or through his computer, easily open a company, easily maintain a company, easily receive licenses, permissions, easily make sure that he will get a permission for his foreign workers to obtain, to bring them in Uzbekistan, work permissions. And visa issues questions already digitalized, and it's very easy to get it through internet. It's the same things happening with a lot of business processes in a government level. And I think it's a significant reform which will show that we are open and we have a possibility to change to make more attractive Uzbekistan.
Thank you, Aziz.
If I could,
Gedris, I saw you had your you raised your hand.
Yeah,
is there
just
something you wanted to add?
to add from a real estate and investment perspective. I mean, what Roshanbek and Aziz are telling about basically creates very interesting opportunities, both in infrastructural things such as data centers and like similar infrastructure for informational and data connectivity. It also creates, I mean, moving another kind of sidekick of that is that all the logistic channels are going a little bit south because of the northern neighbor is becoming less secure or less predictable. So there's a lot of logistical connectivity opportunities that are emerging, both, as I mentioned, land and air. I mean, this requires a big involvement, strategic involvement of Uzbekistan government, but overall, the country has all the potential to benefit from the SAT development geopolitically, but basically being a safe haven to a certain extent and quite neutral. The way it behaves, it creates very interesting opportunities, both in data connectivity, informational connectivity, logistical connectivity, which converts into real estate, finally, industrial real estate, I mean.
Thanks, Gedris. Scott, as well, I think you something you want to say.
yeah, I'll be quick. Just to sort of bring a few statistics to the table. One of the big challenges with Uzbekistan, I always thought, is how do you prevent people from wanting to leave the country? How do you get them to, one, stay there and develop local talent? How do you get Uzbeks from abroad to come back in businesses and hire people? As Aziz mentioned, with the IT park, for example, they were very good at taking advantage of what's happening in Ukraine to attract talent that's fleeing that part of the world. So if you set up a company at the IT park, you can get a 3-year multiple entry business visa to bring your staff over. And in terms of the groups that are moving over, for example, there's an American company that had a Belarusian subsidiary with 1,000 people. They're a software business. They moved all of them to Tashkent. You look at the outbound Russian travelers in the month of April, 53% of them ended up in Uzbekistan. So all the hotels are full. And this is a trend I think that's going to continue for a while. You have Belarusians, Russians, Ukrainians that are coming for tourism that otherwise never would have come to the country. And the biggest challenge I think all of us can agree on is that everyone has the wrong perception of Uzbekistan. When you go to Tashkent and of course the tourist sites and whatnot, it's a fascinating country. The infrastructure is certainly not bad relative to other parts of the world, even Southeast Asia. And all the Russians and Belarusians that I know that have come there absolutely love it. And they're telling friends to come if either as tourists or to relocate there. So you look at the real estate implications of that, and they're very much significant. And in addition to that, you have a lot of Russians who are opening up bank accounts in in Uzbekistan to be able to get Visa and MasterCards so they can travel around the world, which potentially gives Uzbekistan the opportunity to, if it so desires, to evolve into a sort of quasi-financial hub for this part of the world. And again, the real estate implications are phenomenal when you look at the fact that Russians and Belarusians are buying real estate there now. So they're bringing talent, they're bringing capital, and they have the potential to, of course, develop local talent, which means rising salaries, rising incomes, and is mortgage rates fall, which right now are in the 25 to 30% range. You have very interesting dynamics for the real estate market.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.